Ask Reddit by Willow. 20 years from now, what will be the you are not going to always have a calculator in your pocket? You are not going to have internet access everywhere. This one's already going away. I used to use a lack of Wi-Fi in fast food places as a way to sit on my laptop and do offline things, photoshopping, writing homework assignments or fun stories, without being distracted by the internet. Now I don't have that sort of refuge from being always connected, and there doesn't appear to be a Windows app for temporarily disable the internet for the next 2 hours, then automatically switch it back on. You are not always going to have someone to clean up after you. Robot Butler has entered the chat. Yeah, but you have a small window between convenient bipedal Roombas and the first robot uprising. What if your car runs out of gas? Honestly, I think running out of gas may be permanent lingo, kind of like how we say hang up the phone even though there's no cradle anymore, or roll down the window even though there's no crank. And what if your phone doesn't have service? And what if the battery dies? You won't always be living with your parents. You clearly aren't Asian. What's the Wi-Fi password? Hunter 2. You are always going to have a calculator in your pocket. Deleted. I have a right to online privacy. I hate their reply. If you have nothing to hide, why are you worried? Like, wanting some privacy doesn't mean you are hiding 30 murder crimes. Well, you can't automate everything. Tell that to my car that drives itself, house that cleans itself, yard that mows itself, and coffee that makes itself. But, sure, that one thing you're thinking of totally can't be automated. Can't program a robot to make you piss. YTF is this my most upvoted comment. Fingers crossed, finish your food, there are people in Africa starving. Well done, I like this one. Clean air doesn't grow on trees. The Lorax wants to know your location. People misunderstanding the premise of the question and talking about brain computers and stuff. It's supposed to be something that people actually say today, which might turn out to be completely wrong. The cell phone service one is a good example. The 10 different mind computer ones are not. A right example would be computer do what you tell them, not what you intended. Today it is the base of programming, but in the future they could have a much more accurate understanding of what we want. You are not always going to have autopilot in your car. Deleted. Pay attention to the road, cars don't drive themselves. There's plenty more fish in the sea, won't make any sense. Edit. This comment doesn't really answer ARP's question. I'd delete it, but some of the responses are pretty good. That's actually made me feel very sad. Teachers saying you're not allowed to use a Wikipedia article. I hope that doesn't change. Encyclopedias in general have always been frowned upon as sources because their entire purpose is to give an overview. Wikipedia's biggest advantage is that it makes it easy to find primary sources, such as books or articles, which are then acceptable to cite because they should go into more detail. You can't be in 2 places at one time. Deleted. And that teacher's name? Professor Oak. This restaurant doesn't deliver, although hopefully not, because we end up with another global pandemic so fucking soon. The conditions that created this one still exist. People who don't get it. Deleted. So many people didn't understand ARP's question, it makes me sad. Close the door, you're gonna let all the cold out. You can't just make stuff appear out of thin air, you know. 3D printer go BRR. The car won't drive itself. Bring a jacket. It looks cold out. Bold of you to assume we are still gonna be alive 20 years from now. You better actually learn this because your Neuralink won't work on Mars. It took longer than expected for a Neuralink comment to come up. Your vote matters. We don't have computers like we used to back in 2020. Learn to do mental arithmetic. Damn. We can't do your job.